So we saw that heart is the pumping organ, and when blood flows through the blood vessels, obviously it will exert some force on the walls of the blood vessels. So here you can see, when heart pumps blood and when arteries carry this blood, the blood exerts force or some pressure on the walls of the blood vessels. Now this pressure is greater in the arteries as compared to the veins. Now let us understand how is this pressure generated. Now you know that heartbeat has got two phases, that is the contraction phase and the relaxation phase. Since the heart is a muscular organ, it keeps on contracting and relaxing. Now the contraction phase of the heart is called as the systole, whereas the relaxation phase of the heart is called as the diastole. So we have two phases, the contraction phase, that is systole, and the relaxation phase, that is diastole. So now let us understand what is blood pressure. The pressure in the artery during ventricular contraction. When we say contraction of the heart, here we are referring to ventricular contraction, because the pressure is there only during ventricular contraction. So the pressure in artery during ventricular contraction, that is during the systolic phase, is called as the systolic pressure. And when measured, the normal systolic pressure comes out to be 120 millimeters of Hg, that is millimeters of mercury. It is the unit to measure the blood pressure. And the pressure in the arteries during ventricular relaxation, that is the diastole phase of the heart. During that time, the pressure in the artery is called as the diastolic pressure. And when measured, the normal diastolic pressure comes out to be 80 millimeters of mercury. So the normal blood pressure of a human being is supposed to be 120 by 80 millimeters of mercury, where 120 is the systolic pressure and 80 is the diastolic pressure. Now students, blood pressure is measured by an instrument which is called as the sphygmomanometer. You all must have visited a doctor's clinic and you must have seen the doctor measuring blood pressure with this instrument which is called as the sphygmomanometer. Now, we also said that we need a system to repair if these blood vessels are damaged from time to time. And this repair of blood vessels is done by a special type of cells in the blood which are called as the platelets. So platelets are a type of blood cells which help in repairing the damaged network of blood vessels. Now let us see how does this happen. Imagine there is a cut in the hand. Now we all know that a cut damages the network of blood, and this would lead to loss of blood and also loss of pressure. So obviously it reduces the efficiency of the pumping system. Now how will this particular cut be plugged in? Let's understand. The blood platelets are the cells which do the work of plugging these leaks. And how do they do this? They do this by clotting the blood at the point of injury. Let's understand. Imagine a blood vessel which is surrounded by the body cells, and imagine there is a cut in the blood vessel. You can see the blood cells flowing in the blood. Now when there is a cut in the blood vessel, the platelets, one by one, they start getting accumulated or collected at the site of injury. You can see the other blood cells are flowing, but the platelets coming and getting accumulated at the site of injury. And when they get accumulated at the site of injury, they kind of form a meshwork, an interconnected meshwork which plugs the leak, as you can see in the diagram. So the blood platelets, they do the work of plugging these leaks by clotting the blood at the point of injury.